The picture tells us about the meeting and the big, beautiful, bold journey of Sarah and David. Well, how they ended up together in this journey, what brought them to each other, and why they end up in most incredible, beautiful, and strange places together. Why they always travel alone, and now they must go this way together. The picture makes us immerse ourselves in an unusual metaphorical fairy tale atmosphere, similar to Alice in Wonderland, through the looking glass, and reflect in eternal philosophical questions. For example, about why we live, for what we live, why loneliness becomes so unpleasant in the most beautiful and remote places. Why do we want to share happiness with someone else? David and Sarah are some collective images of some prototypes or two completely different people who, by the will of fate or some kind of fate, end up together. Or maybe it's their own choice, and nothing seemed to them in this film. We plunge into the past and into the future, various events that happen to the heroes in different periods of their lives, and these events appear for a reason. There are the situations and things in which they found themselves alone. They were so unhappy, experiencing some kind of loss, suffering, or loneliness, experiencing a crisis, and now they are immersed in this atmosphere. Well, they are no longer alone. They seem to go into the past with the help of a time machine, and they really move by car on their journey. And this is not just a car, this is some mysterious mystical machine with a GPS navigator that made this big, beautiful and bold journey. It leads them on an unknown path where they find themselves in the most incredible places, and everything that happens to them seems to have happened before, and they are immersed in these illusions, in these moments from the past they experience and are already in their current state. When they have lived this path, and now they can look at it as it from the outside, but at the same time immersed in the present, they no longer feel their loneliness. What is really happening, and why did they meet each other? Sarah and convincing Bertolorette. David, a man who has dreamed of a strong big family all his life. They are traveling together in a car. Why didn't they meet each other before? Although they live in the same city in a certain moment. A very unpredictable plot of this film leads us to nothing, but constantly shows different sides of the characters' condition. They ask and receive more and more philosophical questions. They open door by door. However, the main motive of this film is that our heroes meet each other at the wedding and get a small conversation issues between the ceremony. They are talking about marriage, about wedding, and some points. Sarah invites David to marry her, and David thinks that she's only joking. But what does Sarah really want? And did they meet for the sake of the great big and beautiful journey, beautiful love with each other? And they must overcome something between them, overcome some path. We also can find some analogies of this film with artists and art, like Surrealism. Surreal paintings, for example, paintings by René Magritte, his beautiful and realistic landscapes, doors, and symbols. A door as a symbol of surrealism, something in between, some kind of portal, which was also a very important element, is a very important symbol in this film too. Distant lighthouses, high mountains, earth, babbling streams are such wonderful, delightful places where Sarah and David understand each other, understand the world. Sarah and David have to see different unbelievable places, go through many doors that are full of mysteries. What is this big, beautiful, bold journey? Who are you? How do you live? David asks questions. They talk about the ideal scenario if they were at the wedding together as a couple. If they were invited to some wedding, they came there together as a couple. And David says that it's better to be in fear, but be with you, than to be afraid, but to be alone. So Sarah replies that if they were as a couple together, she would feel comfortable, she would feel cared for. Is this film really immersing us in an ideal experience, in an ideal picture of what could happen? But what will really happen to our characters? Where is reality and where is fiction? Maybe there is an insight in love. What do Sarah and David have to learn about each other, about love, relationships, and why they meet? Have they already been together in the same cafe, but with different people, under different circumstances, at the same time? What does fate have to do with it? What is really true? Were they already connected to each other by an invisible thread? Did it take time or some external influence or someone's help to cross paths again in this life? And what is this mysterious car rental that brings them together in one place at one time in one car? Despite the fact that this is a fantasy movie, to some extent it has a lot of fantasies and some unrealistic plot lines. We can't call it a kind of magical realism, but nevertheless, we begin to believe in the reality of such situations, that sometimes some mysterious influence from the outside can affect such romantic love events, and when two desperate people, lonely people, don't see the meaning of life at all, suddenly they find each other and find this meaning. Why are such things so important to us? Why do we believe in magic? Do we believe in fairy tales and miracles that live in reality? Why do some people believe in love and really look forward to these miracles? But another people are very afraid of being disappointed, afraid to love and be open to love. As soon as it gets too serious, they avoid these feelings. So now Sarah has met David, and David has met Sarah. Can they be together without fearing anything? But why didn't their previous relationship work out? Can something happen between them now? It's so important not just to believe, but to feel love. A big, beautiful, bold journey is love. an opportunity to open up your heart, an opportunity to feel and be filled.